Welcome to Micro Podcast. I've got Jason Seiden here with me. He's the co-founder of Comfort Communications, which is a tool that enables teams to support grieving colleagues. How do you build a story that actually draws people in on a need as opposed to having a hard conversation?
With Comfort solves a problem nobody wants to talk about, right? Nobody wants to deal with grief. Like, I've been through it. This is not comfortable, but everybody wants to show up for each other. So what we did was we said, okay, people actually want to comfort one another. So let's start with that. I have a friend, Sean Shepard. He does innovation work, and he has a phrase that I absolutely adore. He says, when you're going after early customers, especially, you don't want customers, you want partners. You want partners who are willing to share their time and their truth. And that's my approach, right? When you're framing something and you're focused on the story, you're partnering with people. What you're doing is you're saying, look, there's a thing out there that's really important, and I'm going to sit on the same side of the table as you, and we're going to solve it together. And I know I've got a huge important part of that solution, but I also know there's going to be some nuance here. And I want to work with you to make sure that you're able to bend my solution to the contours of that nuance. Because the story is where you're anchored, you connect on that first, and all of a sudden you've reframed the sales conversation. They all have that same start with the story, solving a real issue, and I'm here with you doing it along the way kind of vibe.
Yeah, I love that language or that phrase of start with a story. When I'm talking to startup founders, they usually believe that they have the best mousetrap, that they have a new innovation, that the product's going to do all the work, that they don't necessarily need an aspirational story. But really what you're talking about is helping employees care for each other through grief. You have to start with the story. You have to be aspirational.
One thing I really like about starting with the story, it forces you to know your product and your sales process like 3 rings out. All you know is the routine. And as soon as the routine breaks, you're dead in the water. If you know the story and you know the story such that the person you're talking to is the protagonist of the story, that's a deeper level of knowledge. Now they can ask a question. You're prepared for a question. They can ask a follow-up. Now you've earned the right to say, I don't know. And that's when you slide the seat to the same side of the table and you say, that's a good question. I don't know. Let's talk about this. Let's work this together. And you haven't lost it.